What are you doing? Ew, that's dirty. You can't have that. No, 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 no. My plan was not to do what I'm about to talk to you about today. My plan was... I look like a hippie. What? You okay? My plan was to do laundry today, which is still on the list of things to do. But I also have these tomatoes that I just got from the garden. And... Hello. Hello. And I have a bunch of potatoes I got out of the garden this morning too. And you'll see that in a garden tour probably next week. But today I need to get these tomatoes canned. I thought I'd bring you along for the goodness of it. Hold on. This weekend our house threw up all over the place. And so you just don't look at my mess. I do need to clean the kitchen first, but this little boy right here, we also cleaned out his bedroom. So he's sharing a room with Big Brother now, which we're excited about. Last night was his first night in bed, and it didn't go so great because the mattress is really hard. But I think if we get it great, we'll be okay. Don't you think? Don't you think? You have chocolate on your face. All right, I gotta clean my kitchen first. I have a mess of a kitchen, so I can get these tomatoes canned. There's only a few tomatoes, but there's enough to probably get a couple jars out of, and they're going bad, which I will talk to you about in just a second.
I've said it many times, I know I would change my ways, I know for sure. When all the crows decide to meet, they settle down beneath my feet.
The garden has been keeping me busy, which means this time of year the house is super crazy. I forgot that I left my water bath canner outside, and so I had to wash it out and get it cleaned up. And this is another reason why I really can't wait for my steam canner to come. Water bath canning takes a lot of water, which so do dishes, which are also behind. We had a big dinner last night, and so my sink was full. I'd actually been keeping up with dishes pretty well and having them out of the sink every night and every morning, but that just, when gardening happens, something is always lacking. All right, so there are some tools to think about. Don't I look just schmexy like in this super horrible hair? I don't even care right now because horrible hair makes great food too. So there's some few things that I use for tomatoes. You use a water bath canner. I was actually waiting. I just ordered a steam canner and it's not gotten here yet. I was really hoping I could hold out on those tomatoes for the steam canner, but it just hasn't happened. For tomatoes, I also use a basket. This transparency, this is a Target basket. I got this from Target in like the dollar bin, and I use it for decorating, and I needed a basket for tomatoes one day and I put them in here. So what I use this for, you can actually buy official baskets for this, but I put my tomatoes in here and submerge them into a stock pot for just a few minutes, maybe like a minute, if that. And then I take them out. I cut an X on the end first before I put them in here. Take them out, run them under cold water, and then the skins peel right off. So that's what this is for. I use handy dandy funnel and obviously my water bath canner. What? What are you talking about? You still got chocolate on your face. I have to make that go away. Alright, so I'm just taking these tomatoes and I am gonna wash them off, but first I'm just gonna get out any nasty spots, any rotten spots. That's gonna go into the chicken feed bowl, and just to make sure that you don't contaminate, you know, using seconds is what we call them, second tomatoes. It's fine using tomatoes that have bad spots. We have some bad tomatoes this year because we have a stink bug issue, and it's just not good. So I'm using any tomato I can get with apparently a very dull knife that I need to get rid of. Serrated knives work fabulously on tomatoes. Okay, so like you can't see it probably, but this one is really soft. See that dark spot there? And number one, that can come from the tomato sitting too long, or from something trying to kind of get into it. So I'm just cutting those bad spots out, and it's an otherwise good tomato. Since I'm cutting bad spots out of these ones, I don't need to cut an X on the bottom. But if I were to have a good tomato, like let's just say this one, I would just cut an X right on the bottom like that, and then put it in there for me to put into my stock pot. I think for the most part, this tomato is probably pretty good. Let me just, when in doubt, cut it out. That's what I say. So, but if you have otherwise bad tomatoes like this one, and you're already cutting out bad spots, you don't have to do the X on the bottom. All right, I got the baby on because he was being extra cranky. So at this point, the water is pretty much boiling in this stock pot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these tomatoes in there and just kind of let them set. I'll show you what they look like. And they just kind of float around, move them around a little bit, and that'll help loosen the skins up for you to peel off.
I met an old man. I said, tell me your story. He took out an old pen and wrote something for me. Then he kept walking on down the road, and I watched him disappear like smoke. And I thought I'd just seen a ghost. Then I looked down at what he wrote. It said, son, when you grow up you'll be fine. I know you've got questions on your mind. Life is gonna happen one way or the other, whether you like it or not. Stop looking for the answers and you'll find.
Are you playing?
Separated off. This is our side and that's his side.
All right, so my tomatoes are canning. They've been canning for about 20 minutes now. Tomatoes take about 45 minutes total to can. Oh, my legs are breaking. Not my real legs, my camera legs. So it's pretty easy. Canning tomatoes is generally very easy to do. It's not pretty. It's more efficient if you were to do a bunch at one time. Canning 2 jars of tomatoes, I got a quart and a pint, isn't very efficient with a water canner. That's why I got a steam canner. And with a steam canner, you know, I'm only putting in like 2 inches of water in the steam canner and steam canning them. Where with, you know, tomorrow I might have another batch of tomatoes I've got to can, and I might only get 2 jars again. That means I have to fill up that entire water bath canner and wait for it to come to a boil and all of that stuff, and I just don't have time for that. So I went ahead and got a steam canner, and it's just easier. You can fit 7 quarts in the steam canner, and at least in this brand you can, and it's just overall easier. As I was saying, now I'm in the baby's room because, you know, he's getting a mouthful of teeth and he needs some mom attention. And mom attention means I'm just here watching him. Yeah. So that's tomato canning 101. I think I actually have a video about canning tomatoes that I will try. It's more in depth that I will try to link below. What are you doing? Do you want to show you my potatoes though? Hi. How are you? Oh my gosh. Say hi. Say hi. Can you say hi? You're not gonna say hi? Alright, I want to show you. Ooh, the lighting's horrible. I also did my hair just a little bit because I had a curl and iron I wanted to try. One of the projects this weekend was putting the wood floor down in our basement, which I think looks fabulous. Don't you agree? Of course, don't look at all the stuff behind me because it's a crazy mess. But so we are moving. We moved our oldest son upstairs, and we are turning this room, which is currently most of his junk, into the pantry room. So this will be a before and the after will come later, but our freezer's already in here, and I'm excited about it because we have a small pantry upstairs, but we do not we really need storage. And so if you don't know, we live in an 896 square foot house. Now the house it does have a basement, so if we include the basement, it's about 1700 square feet, but we really only live in the upstairs, and so because of that, it's just very, very small. Now we did use the downstairs for quite a while, and once the baby came though, we changed that. And so now we just use mostly the upstairs. Now that the floor is finished, we'll probably utilize that space down there more, but we need storage space more than anything. So Junior is moving back upstairs. Him and Everett are sharing a bedroom, which is what we started on this weekend. And his old room in the basement is becoming basically our storage and pantry room, which is something we really need, especially this year. We have over 120 pounds of potatoes, and even if I don't get a lot of tomatoes from my garden, I normally go to the orchard and get several bushels of tomatoes to can every year because it's just cheaper that way. We go through a lot of tomato products, and I want to put my herbs down there. They'll store better, they'll keep better, and just all of our extras, like our food storage, our extra medicinal things. You know, in order to have a good food storage setup, you have to have the right space to do it. So every week we get something, you know, a little bit extra at the store and put it away. So I thought you would like to see that. Hopefully we can get it cleaned up this weekend, and I can kind of give you a pantry tour of what we have left over, but we'll have to see. I think that's it for me this week, but what? I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it for you. Thanks for coming along with me today in just a very miniature daily vlog. I can't wait to show you more from our garden this year. It has been a mess, and we are not getting what we really wanted to get from it, but it is what it is, and we are gonna push through, and it's gonna work because this is the season of life that we're in, and we will embrace every single season. Hey, check out my podcast if you haven't already. It's the Choosing Simple podcast, where we talk about making simple decisions and everyday thoughts and emotions and reactions, because living a simple life isn't very simple. Have you noticed that? Until next time, check out all my outlets and happy homesteading. I have to take a video so we can take a thumbnail picture. Smile! Let's take a real